Sin. Many of us know what sin is. Many of us are aware of sin. Many of us are so aware of the fact of sin and how prevalent it is in our life that we oftentimes want to search about it. You know, for example, the sin of just swearing, of foul mouth. We will often go to the word. We will often go to the word. We will often search about it. We will often see the verses of it because we want clarification. We want certainty. We want certainty that this sin is real. We want certainty that it's not just a figment of our brain. For at least in my walk, that's what happened. But I figured something out, and I want to talk about this. When we search about these sins, when we worry about these sins, rather than us actually taking the time to understand it, our flesh inherently decides the sin for us. In the sense where I'm talking about this, for example, when I'm talking about cussing, the flesh loves to cuss. The flesh loves to do the things of the flesh, the things of evil, the things of this world. And so when you're searching and you're only in it for the flesh, you're only in it to do the work, to do the checklist, to only not actually get yourself closer to God, not actually turn yourself closer to God, but just to stop this thing because you feel like you're going to hell. When you're just in that place in the flesh and you search about it, it will inherently make it so that when you search, this is a sin, the only thing that you're really going to focus on is the thing of the flesh. When the flesh wants you to sin, you're going to see that one person that says, oh, it's okay to sin. It's okay to swear because you know what? Swearing is just words. And you're going to inherently believe that because you're thinking of the flesh. You're not thinking in the spirit. You're thinking in the flesh because you're only thinking about what you want to hear. You're only thinking about what's in your mind, what is in your perception, not what God thinks. Because, for example, there's so many people, for example, LGBTQ, for example, gay, for example, those who are gay, for example, those who are lesbian, rather than humbling yourself. If you look in the word, you're going to see passages, right? You're going to see passages of it saying, condemning these. But what people say is that it's a mistranslation, or they're going to say it's talking about other things. They're not going to say it's truly talking about the Lord. It's not going to say that it's truly talking about what you believe it is. And you're going to blame it on these other things. Because realistically, you're thinking in the flesh. You want an answer. You want inherently to have the right answer. And let's say you don't even think that. Let's say in your heart right now, you're pushing that away. You're pushing my words away. How about this? How about instead of focusing on what other people say, how about instead of focusing on the words that other people try to make you say, you forget all of that. You forget all of the past knowledge. You forget all of the things that you were taught from these people because that's fleshly. You humble yourself. You humble yourself before Christ, and you come before Christ and you say, God, you say, Lord, I've had all this information. I've had all this knowledge from all these different sources, but I don't know if they are true. I don't know if they are of you, Lord. I don't know this. So instead, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to humble myself before you, God. I'm going to humble myself before you, God. And I'm going to say, God, if this is truly of you, if this is truly of your nature, if this sin is something that is truly not of you, remove it from me. Lord, despite what I want the outcome to be, despite what my flesh wants the outcome to be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trust in your outcome. I'm not going to trust in my outcome. I'm not going to trust in what I want to happen. I'm going to trust in you. Because when you truly humble yourself before you, and you humble yourself to whatever reaction or whatever answer that you get from the Lord, and you take it, then the Lord will give you the answer. For example, the idea of swearing, where your flesh wants to continue swearing, but if you humble yourself and you say, Lord, is swearing good for me? If this is truly not of me, tell me. The world tells you it's just words. The word tells you it's just words. It's not really mean anything. But God tells you that these words have implications. These words have a meaning behind it. These words have hate and wrath. When you say cuss words, it's usually out of wrath and it's usually out of fury. Why would the Lord, someone of love, someone of peace, want you to say words of fury? That's not of the Lord. And you have to humble yourself. You have to not think pridefully. You have to not think of that past knowledge that you've gained in the past. Instead, you have to think about what the Lord is saying now. Instead, you have to think about, humble yourself. What is the Lord telling you? Don't worry about what others say. Worry about the Lord. Humble yourself and ask God. Instead of this world, ask God, why are we going to Google? Why are we going to all these different sources, these different forums? And I find myself doing this, trying to find these answers. Instead, let's seek God. Let's seek God first. And then do the knowledge. Because when we seek God first and in humility, despite what the answer may be, and then we do the research, then the correct answer will come out, because we're not looking for the answer that pleases the flesh. We're not looking at the answer that pleases the devil. We're looking at the answer that pleases God, because we're humble, and we're humble in whatever answer the Lord may give us. So in all things, I just want to say this: trust in the Lord rather than your own thoughts. Be humble and give it to the Lord and trust in him.